know, Lost Planet is about multiple different factions. It's about acrid creatures, giant robots, and a frozen world, you know. And those were very much the hallmarks for Lost Planet 1. For LP2, you know, there was this whole warming thing where, you know, there was some snow, but there was also, you know, forests and deserts and stuff. And then, of course, now for LP3, going back in time, you know, we're showing the planet as, at its most cold state. So for us, it's really about taking these ingredients and then kind of, you know, making a different dish out of them.
When we started working on Lost Planet 3, it was a complete collaboration from the beginning. In fact, we had a meeting at one point where it was Andrew Ogura-san, who's the franchise creative director, and I sitting in a room talking about what they thought about the franchise, what they thought was important, and kind of what we wanted to bring to the table as Spark. So just kind of a collaboration from the beginning.
We really need this one. Don't you worry.
You know, from the Capcom side, Oguro-san, who is our franchise creative director, you know, had come to me after he was wrapping LP2, a couple of months before LP2 shipped, and he had some kind of, you know, very core ideas about where he wanted to go with the third game. He knew he wanted to do a third game. He knew he wanted to get back to sort of, you know, this idea of the colonization and what it must have been like for the first people to arrive on the planet, this very kind of harsh feeling. And he kept, you know, bringing out these keywords like, I want to feel that, you know, that desperation, that desolation, you know, the struggle.
Oh, come on!
We knew from the get-go that we wanted to have a really strong protagonist for the campaign. That was something that from the Capcom side we knew. We talked to people and you know, we got really ambitious with LP2, and I think that LP2 was really successful in what it set out to do, which is kind of create this crazy multiplayer mishmash of different, you know, types of gameplay and like huge amounts of content. But, you know, we talked to a lot of people, you know, a lot of fans, and they basically said, look, we miss having a protagonist, we miss having a strong, you know, storyline. And so we really want to take that and take it to the nth degree.
Next time, I'm asking for triple.
Something that's really important about this game is the idea of family, and adding to what Andrew's saying, the character is all about taking care of his wife and kid back home. He's joined a group who've been there on the planet now for a couple of years, his first colonization attempt. And he's joined them to, you know, try and provide for his wife and kid back home. There are other characters that you'll meet. You've seen in a couple of the demos that's gone out, trailers that have gone out. One of the main characters that you'll see has ties to the Lost Planet 1, the character of Gale. And I think you'll see kind of a very fully fleshed out cast of characters. We're really stressing a high degree of variety of gameplay in Lost Planet 3. We have still a lot of the core stuff from the franchise, the open plains, running and gunning against creatures that are trying to eat you, big giant creatures down to, you know, more man-sized creatures. But we also want to make sure we're all gamers, so we want to make sure that the pacing has a load of variety into it. So we do have like interior moments that are more suspense-oriented, where the player feels like they're you know, they're on their last leg. But that's only, you know, a small portion of the game. We've got all the bells and whistles, from giant creatures to small kind of intimate moments as well. Another hugely unique aspect of Lost Planet 3 is the utility rig. Core to the franchise before has been these vital suits, which are slightly bigger than man-sized machines. These, you know, mechs that are loaded down with weapons, very military-based, you know, rocket launchers and chain guns and things like that. Since we're doing a prequel, we went kind of back in time and thought, what would be the precursor to the vital suit, and what would be the civilian use that evolves into the vital suit? We came up with the utility rig, this giant, like 7 meter tall. It's Jim's personal property, so it's kind of like a trucker's rig, right? So it's personalized inside for him, and we've gone, you know, very unique to the franchise, very first for the franchise. We go into first-person view and do first-person melee combat inside the rig. He doesn't have guns to protect himself in there. Obviously, he can take a lot more damage in the rig than he can on foot. But he uses the tools that he was brought there to do construction with, and improvises uses for them in combat, like grabbing claws and like drilling into soft spots on their elbows and things like that. And we use there's actually a whole suite of upgrades that you can do as the game goes forward.
hope that people will get. You know, that we're trying to keep it very uniquely Lost Planet and feel, but take it in a direction in which, you know, you feel like you're part of this new frontier. You know, you feel like you're part of this exploration of this new planet. And for that, and for us, that is really the core of, you know, what makes Lost Planet 3 so unique. And we're looking forward to having everybody get their hands on it when it comes out in early 2013 for Xbox 360, PS3, and PC.